There's a lot of talk about learner engagement, right? And the fact that how can we keep learners engaged, etc. Some things that you're doing towards driving learner engagement.
So look, very honestly, we are on a very distributed learning management platform. We partnered with Edcast, which is more like the Netflix of learning, right? As an organization, we probably rank on the top percentile of global, Edcast users, right? And I firmly believe, not it's a very personal view, not that like, look, people will learn if the content is useful to them, right? Nobody asks you to not pay for the school, right? You paid for the school and went. That is essential.
Correct.
Right? You did, we always do these courses where we feel it is necessary either to learn or necessary either to upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? At some point of time, my mother sent me for typing classes. Right? I don't know why. Right? I mean, I went for typing classes, but she said it might land him in a job. Right? She felt it's useful to spend money. Right? I mean, look, this is a skill every kid picks up nowadays. Right? So I personally think organizations that don't focus on learning design, right, will have learners engagement very low because you are not putting the learner in the center of your problem. In my design constraint, my learner is my customer, right? And once you put them and understand in their tribal setting, how are they, right? And so typically, let's say for example, we operate in countries where data is very expensive, like South Africa,
right?
So we give free Wi-Fi's to people who anybody comes into office to download our learning programs.
Interesting.
Right? Same thing in Philippines. Data is still expensive.
Yeah.
Right? Then again, you're competing with YouTube, Netflix, Facebook,
correct,
and every other thing to share content. Right? So let your content be damn good. Otherwise, it won't compete.
Yeah.
Right? Use good academic institutions. Right? So most of our leadership program or AI program was co-designed with Cornell, right? And it's an academic partnership, right? One of the program we are launching now will have a tie-up with one of the famous IITs in India, right? Now, technically, for a person who went and studied BE Com, who probably went to any of the IITs for the cultural festivals only, right? To get trained by an IIT professor, right? In a manner he or she will understand.
Yeah.
And use that knowledge is probably a very painful act we take. Right? So case in point, I told you about the insurance claim story, right? I'll tell you how we solved it. We created test labs.
Interesting.
We said, should we train process to people with voice skills, or should we train analytics with people with voice skills, or should we train voice to analytical skills? And very, very, very starkingly, we discovered that people with voice as the core skill had better analytics acumen than people with process. The intuition would say that people with process would have better skills. It was not the case.
Interesting.
Right? Now, when you build that solution, you are building a very true solution for that job family. Right? And then the absorption rate is based on peer feedback. So what happens on the floor? Say, hey buddy, I went for that program, WNS process automation, right? It's great.
Yeah, I meant that.
Right? You must attend it. Right? The person who trained was great. Right? Then you have a pull factor. Right? Then learners engagement because of your content. We don't do 200 programs. We don't compete in competition that says that every resource should be trained for 100 man hours. Right? I don't believe in that concept. Right? Every resource should be given opportunity to learn something that should enhance their resume value.
And stay relevant, simple, like you said,
Right? And if you put that in your remit, your learning engagement will be very high. Right? The problem is when you don't put that in the remit, and learning department will come and say that let's do Kirkpatrick model for effectiveness of training. Right? It just doesn't work.
Correct.
Right? The second part of the thing is that all these guys go and attend the process training because they know it is needed for them. There is a process change, there is an upgrade. We don't need any push for it. They know that for them to have the job, they have to do that.
Correct.
Right? So my theory is, first is we look at content, we look at whom this is designed for. It should not be the training team wanting to create one program because we have a soft month, right? I want to do this training program because my trainer utilization is falling below 60%. I said, if there is training utilization, look, in holiday season, let's October. India operates for 15 days in a month. 15 days there is no work because we have holidays, right? No point me beating up the learning utilization team to say that why are you not 87% this month?
Yeah.
Then they will go do time management lessons, right? And for a time management for somebody in Bombay, where our life is time management, right? This fellow will take a train at 7:15 and come here at 8:15 and take the 5:30. What will you teach that person time management? He or she can probably teach. So relevance, content, simplicity, and very truly litmus test of, look, is this program going to really add value as much as that person would be willing to pay a dime and study it?
Right.
Right? And if you put these litmus tests, then you don't need to bother about learning engagement.
Interesting.
And we don't worry about it because our learning engagement is very high.
No, actually, I just want to tell you, my father also sent me for typing classes.
No, all our parents did. My mother thought that is my only employment opportunity if nothing works out. Right? Yeah. Because, I still remember. And did they send you to shortcut too? Shorthand.
No, shorthand. I remember him talking about it and then saying,
sorry,
maybe
I said
not.
Shorthand. So I went for typing and shorthand both. Right? I don't remember anything of that, but typing still, because I think we live with computers, we are okay with different fingers.
Yeah, I mean, it helped me.
Yeah.
It helped me.